Well, hi there. This is Mr. Joe Krulder from the History Department talking to you about Thesis Generation Part 2. How to create a great thesis for a major paper. So if you're in the wrong place, you might want to try Part 1, which actually focused on small papers like 2 pages or 3 pages, like a book report or a small essay question, or even one of those essay question exams. You need a quick thesis and how to generate one of those. That's part 1. This is part 2. It's a little bit more complicated, and I hope you kind of hit the rewind button anytime you get confused. Okay? Thesis generation part 2, how to create a great thesis for a major paper. Now, before we get too far along, yeah, this works in history, but it works in other disciplines as well, especially disciplines in the humanities and social sciences. So this thesis generation part 2 would work in English, political science, philosophy, archaeology, psychology, any of the humanities and social sciences. So we'll begin right now. 3 prompts, really. And they get more difficult as you get down to number 3. Number 1's really easy. You're working on this topic. A. Whatever this topic is. There's no question involved. You're just working on it. But then someone's going to ask you why. And you're going to say, well, because. Well, because why? Well, because I want to find out about Z. That same person across the kitchen table or the little voice inside your head is going to say, well, why? And then your answer is, so I can help others find out about X. Now, this is a bit abstract, I must admit. So let's take a look at what this looks like if we actually pick a topic. So I'm going to throw one out there. Oh, the Battle of the Alamo. Okay? You're interested in the Battle of the Alamo. You love the Battle of the Alamo for whatever reason. You read it as a little kid. You saw it on TV. You watched a John Wayne movie. You're into the Battle of the Alamo. And that's the topic you're going to work on. Person across the kitchen table, the little voice inside your head is going to say, why? And you're going to go, well, I want to find out about something about the Battle of the Alamo. And this is what I want to find out. I want to find out why it is so legendary. It's a legend. But why is it a legend? Okay, good. You thought about it a little bit. You're working on this topic. Why are you working on this topic? Well, because it's legendary and I want to know why it's legendary. And so, see the process? But guess what? That annoying voice in your head or the person across from the kitchen table, who may or may not be so annoying, are going to say, why? Why? Why are you doing this? And you're going to go, look, I want to help others. And that's basically what a paper is helping others find out about what you find out about, right? So you're going to help others find out about how these regional myths shape our national character. 3 prompts, 2 whys. You're working on this to find out about Z so you can help others find out about X. Pretty simple so far. Yeah? Not too bad. You can do this. All right, let's go on to the next step. So what? So what? Why should I, a reader in the 21st century, care about, what it is that you're working on? And these are good questions, and you have to answer. This is a very difficult question. Okay, I'm working on the Battle of the Alamo, and I want to learn why it's so legendary so that I can talk about these reasons. But why? So what? Why should readers care? You need to answer the question. Myths, regional myths, they play a role in shaping our national identity. And just for grins, you might want to just kind of rattle off a few of these examples of myths in our national history. Like Washington was totally selfless, or Lincoln never told a lie, or westward expansion was totally manifest. So what? So what if our myths play a role in shaping national identity? Ooh, see what's happening here? They're pushing you to think even more. That's a hard question to answer. Someone's looking at you saying, so what? Oh, so what if our national identity is shaped by these myths? So what? Think about it and come up with an answer, then put it on paper, and it might look like this. Well, if we rely upon myths to shape our national identity, this might actually distort the past. You see, because in reality, now you go back to those things that you put up before, Washington did speculate on land from time to time. Lincoln is human, and, so he did kind of lie once in a while. And, when we expanded westward, we displaced a lot of Native Americans, and it wasn't always very pretty when we did it. So then that voice in your head, that annoying person from the other side of the kitchen table, is going to say, well, so what? So what if I care if our past is distorted? So what? You got to answer that question. It's another one of those real tough ones, and you have to think about it, and you're going to come up with something that might look like this. Well, if this is distorted, then, what about us as a people, as a nation? Are we kind of distorting ourselves when we do this? So, some folks actually believe that we are 100% God-fearing, freedom-loving, and totally beneficent people. But in reality, we're really a multiplex of people who have a multiplex of point of views on just about anything. In fact, a multiplex of people, some of us are not Christians, some are Muslims, some are Jewish, some are Buddhist, some are Hindu, some don't have any religion at all. So, who are we then as a people? Who are we as a nation? And do we really need these distortions to keep us unified? Now that's a pretty good response to all these so whats. Now, let's put all of this together. Let's get to the thesis writing. And notice that what it's going to take are the 3 prompts that we worked on earlier. And there they are. You say hello to them. Hi. We've seen them before. And the so whats. And there they are. The magic in this is that we have to kind of sit back, look at these, think about them for a while, and come up with a couple of sentences, maybe 3, maybe 4, that are going to define what the entire paper is about. So here, let's try it. Mythical interpretations of the past, such as the Battle of the Alamo, often shape our national character. Now that first sentence actually comes from the 3rd prompt, the answer to the second why. I point that out because the second sentence is going to go to the so what. Yet, this persistence or reliance upon legends or myths, embedded as they are into our regional and national histories, may actually distort the past. If you look over at the so what column, that's the second so what, the 3-2. I often like the 3-2, but choose one from the prompt. That's your first sentence. Choose one from your for your second sentence from the so what column, and that'll get you pretty close to kind of summing it all up in the 3rd and 4th paragraph, which reads, "This paper studies the Battle of the Alamo and how it has defined not only who we are as a people, but as a nation in the 21st century." Now that is a fabulous thesis. Okay? Great. Guess what? We're going to do another. Now, again, if any of you have difficulty in coming up with a thesis, you can play this anytime. If you have difficulty understanding, just stop, rewind it to where you got lost, and then hit play, and it'll replay. This is 24/7, 365. This is technology. This is here for you. This is from me, from the history department, from your community college, and I hope you actually use this. Again, I'm going to show you another prompt, another thesis. This one's actually mine, and it came from my master's thesis that I developed at CSU Chico in California. And what I want you to realize is that I did the same thing. I started with A, Z, and X. I'm working on this topic. And this was the topic I decided to work upon. A guy who was executed in 1757, and his name was John Byng. Now, John Byng was an admiral, and he was executed, and that is extremely rare. So, I'm working on this topic. And the annoying person on the other side of the table, with a little voice inside of my head, will go, why? Well, because I want to find out about early forms of British nationalism, and by studying John Byng's execution, that will help me get here. Why? I'm glad you asked, because I want to help others find out about the curious roots of British nationalism. It's not like any other form of nationalism anywhere in the world. So you see how I did that? Why? And then you keep asking that question. You have to do the same thing. Don't be afraid. You can do it. Now, so what? Why should I care? Me, reader in the 21st century. Well, so what? Here it is. The roots of British nationalism was actually founded by the middle class. Now, that's totally opposite of what most historians think nationalism is. This is not top-down. This isn't coming from the state or the government. This is coming from the people, the middle class. That's pretty cool. So what? Well, look, when the merchant class said that, or founded this nationalistic movement, they wanted adherence to two things. They were trying to identify who Britons were. And to be, according to the middle class, to be a Great Britain was to be somebody who has these very strong personal moral codes, high ethical standings and standards, and that at the same time they pursue wealth and standing in society and be a man while doing it. That's what it meant to be a Briton in 1756 and 1757. So what? All right, look, not only did they enunciate this, they did this in the media. Okay, the media was huge in Britain in 1756. They did it in newspapers, pamphlets, prints, rituals, and it emphasized over and over and over and over again the proper role of a Briton. And Admiral Byng got all caught up in that. Okay, make a thesis. Boom, 3 prompts, the so what's equals my thesis. So, there's the 3 prompts, bada bing, here's the three so what's. Now I got to put them together. Okay? Boom. Admiral Byng's execution in 1757 reflected early and curious forms of British nationalism. Notice that goes to the 3rd prompt again. Remember, I like that 3-2. But a prompt and a so what. I'm going to put them together. Second sentence is the so what. The explosion of nationalistic rhetoric within mid-18th century media shows that the British middle class demanded certain adherences to strong moral values in the midst of wealth pursuit. That comes from that second sentence, 3-2. Get it? And then I wrap it all up with, by studying the plethora of primary materials related to Byng's execution, it is clear that Britain's form of nationalism was not top-down, not state-directed, but rather flowed free and liberally from Britain's middle ranks. Great thesis. Look, folks, thesis generation is difficult. It takes a little bit of thought to get it out there. But follow this formula, and you should do just fine. I really do hope this helped. And if you ever get stuck, email me. I'll answer. And we can talk about it. All right, we'll have a conversation. You talk, I talk, All right, think. It only hurts for a little while. And remember, this is a production of Joe Krulder from the History Department to you. 24/7, 365, available. Use it, abuse it, rewind if you need to. We'll catch you next time. Thank you.